Okay, so in the yesterday session, we have started with your Spring Data JPA. We have started actually, and the main objective of using your Spring Data JPA is that in order to, why we have to use Spring Data JPA?
Presenting the data.
Communicate with the database.
Yeah, communicate with your database or persisting the data into the database. You will be going for this Spring Data JPA concept actually. So normally the Java application will communicate with your database. It will be communicating. So in between that, we'll be using JPA providers. You will be using. So what is a JPA provider? It is nothing but a
Vendor.
vendor. Okay, it is good. It is nothing but a vendor that provides an implementation for the JPA specification actually. So JPA specification is nothing but the Java persistent API. With the help of that only, we are going to communicate with the database. And in order to use that one, we are going to use some vendors. We are going to use it like Hibernate, Ibatus, JDO, TopLink, etc. With the help of those vendors, we are going to communicate with the database actually. But again, we have to write so many code over there actually. In order to reduce our work, we on the top of your JPA provider, we have added one library which is called as your Spring Data JPA, okay, which is called as your Spring Data JPA. So in the case of your Spring Data JPA, there is no need for us to write all the logic and all. We have to just declare the
annotation.
No, we have to just declare the
method.
The implementation and all will be automatically taken care by your Spring Data JPA itself. Okay, and under Spring Data JPA, what are the 4 repositories we have?
Repository interface.
JP
Repository.
repository.
After repository, what is the next one? After CRED repository, and after CRED repository, we have your repository, and finally you will be having your JPA repository. So if I want to perform only CRED operation, now you will be going for which interface?
CRED repository.
If I want to perform your CRED operation as well as your batch operation, now you will be going for your
JPA
repository. And in all these cases, like in the angle bracket, what do you have to give?
Entity class name.
The primary key actually. So you have to just provide these 2 things. Your implementation and all will be automatically taken care by this particular repository. It will be taking actually. And yesterday we have started with the program. So what is the first step we have to do? We have to provide the dependency we have to provide. And what are the 2 dependencies we have to provide?
Spring dependency.
Spring Data
MySQL connector driver we have to provide it. And second one, where we have to configure all your database information and all inside properties file actually. Okay, application.properties file. And third step, we created an
Entity
class. And the 4th step is that we have created your
interface.
repository interface actually. Okay, repository interface that extends which repository?
CRED repository.
Actually. Yeah. And next we have discussed like normally whenever you start your application, your main class only will be starting, your main method will be starting actually. But before your main method starts, I want to communicate with your databases. So for that purpose, we have implemented your
Command runner.
Interface. We have overridden your run method, and inside your run method, we created different methods we created in order to communicate with your databases actually. And in order to communicate with your database, we have different ways are available. The first way we have discussed is we call it predefined methods actually. So if I want to insert a single object, now you'll be going for which method?
Save method.
Save method. And if I want to insert multiple object, now you'll be going for
Save all method.
save all method. And if I want to return a single object, now you'll be going for
Find method.
Find by ID.
gratefully
Find by
ID.
find by ID, or even we have studied one more method called find
Find one.
one or find by ID, anything you can able to use it. And next, if I want to update now, we don't have any method for updation actually. You have to call which method you have to call?
Save method.
Save method.
Save method. So first I want to check it whether that particular ID exists or not. For that purpose, you will be calling a method called
Check ID. Exist by ID.
exist by ID. Okay, exist by ID method actually. And after that, if I want to delete an object now, you will be going for a method called as your
Delete by ID.
Delete method or delete by ID.
delete method. Yes, you will be going for a method called as your delete method. So this is we call it a predefined method. Okay, this is we call it a predefined method. So these method is already present actually. So we can able to retrieve the information or store or update or delete the information into the databases with the help of this predefined method. So now if I try to retrieve information, now we are going for which method we are going? If I want to retrieve anything, now we are going for which method?
Find method.
Find.
Say it fully.
Find all or find by ID.
Find all method.
Find by ID method. Okay, so we are going for a method called find by ID method. So now I can able to retrieve the data only based upon the ID. I can able to retrieve the data, but I don't want to retrieve the data based upon the ID. I want to retrieve the based upon the name. I want to and retrieve it, or if I want to retrieve based upon the department, I want to retrieve it like that. I want to retrieve based upon different properties. I want to retrieve it actually. In that case, what I can able to use it now, we have to go for your custom JPA methods. Okay, custom JPA method. So till now we have discussed only about which methods we have discussed. We have discussed about the predefined methods we have discussed actually. But apart from predefined methods and with the help of your predefined methods, I can able to I can able to access the information only based upon which one I can able to access it.
Based on ID.
based on ID actually. But if I want to retrieve the data based upon some other and a property I want to retrieve it, like name or age or salary or and a department and based upon some other thing, if I want to retrieve it now, in that case, the second way we are discussing. So yesterday's session we have discussed about the predefined method we have discussed. So now we are going to discuss about the custom JPA methods. Okay, custom JPA method, or even we call it to be a derived methods. We'll say derived method, and this is only for what purpose?
Fetching elements.
Fetching purpose.
Fetching.
Fetching based upon different property. Yeah, fetching based on different property if I want to fetch it. Okay, because if I use my predefined method now, we have already have a method called as your find by
ID.
ID.
ID method is there. Okay, so we can able to retrieve the data based upon the ID. But if I want to fetch the data based on a different property now, in that case you can go for a custom JPA methods or derived method. So whenever you're going to write this custom JPA methods or derived method now, derived method means we have certain rule is there. The first rule is that the name should be always start with find by, or you can use your read by or query by or get by. Okay, so how I have to write my custom JPA method? The custom JPA method I have to write and your method has to start with what?
Find
Find
by,
by,
get by, query by, get by.
Yes, query by, get by, all those things. So your method name should start with find by, read by, query by, or get by actually. So this is a rule actually. Okay, this is a rule actually. And where you have to declare this particular method now, the method are declared inside your repository interface. Declare method inside your repository interface. And here we are just going to declare it. We are not going to define it actually. So the definition and all will be automatically taken care by which one?
Repository.
Repository interface actually. Okay, repository interface. So that is we call it a custom JPA method. So why we are going for a custom JPA method now? If I want to retrieve the data based upon a different property now, in that case you can go for a custom JPA method. And how I'll be writing that method now? I'll be writing and your method should start by get by, find by, read by, or query by, like that it has to start it. And where you will be writing, we have to write inside your
Repository.
So we have to just declare it. Okay, we have to just declare it. So the implementation and all will be automatically taken care by the
Repository.
Repository
interface.
repository. Okay, it will be automatically taken care by the repository interface. So that is one advantage, as I already told before. And it is going. The Spring Data JPA is going to reduce the work of the developer because we are not going to write any logic. We are not going to write it. We are just going to correctly declare the method inside
Repository
repository interface actually. The implementation and all will be automatically taken care by the repository interface. Okay, it will be automatically taken care by the repository interface. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Vaibhav, share your screen, Vaibhav.
Okay, sir.
So everyone open your yesterday's project itself. Everyone open your yesterday's project itself. Okay, so everyone go to your main method, your run method, go into your run method. So we have already defined so many methods we have discussed actually. So inside your run method, the create employee method, it's going to create your employee. Find employee method, it is going to find the employee based upon find by ID or find all method. And next we have a check employee and delete. So we have deleted the employee. First we check it and then delete it with the help of exist by ID as well as your delete method. Next update employee. Again, we are first checking whether that particular ID exists and then we are updating the salary for that particular employee we are updating actually. Okay, so this four methods are using what type of methods are using? This four method used what type of methods?
Predefined method.
Predefined method it was using actually. But right now I'm going to use my custom JPA methods. I'm going to use it actually. So everyone define a method called derived query. So declare a method called derived query inside your run method. Inside your run method called derived query and create the derived query method. Derived query and create this derived query method. Vaibhav, are you typing?
Yes, sir.
Vaibhav? But your screen is not updating. Okay. Okay, so everyone create a method called as your derived query method and create the method called as your derived query actually. So what we are going to do in this derived query method, we are going to fetch the data based upon different
Properties.
Yes. Okay. So everyone go to your entity class. Everyone go to your entity class. What are the different properties we have? Everyone go to your entity class. What are the different properties we have?
ID name.
ID, gender, email, salary.
Gender, email, salary, as well as your DEPT. Okay, but in the predefined method, already we have a method called find by ID. So the find by ID will always find based upon the ID only it is going to find it. But now I want to retrieve the data based upon name or based upon gender or based upon email or based upon salary or based upon DEPT. Now, then in that case you will be going for a method called as your custom JPA method. And where you have to declare all your custom JPA method.
Inside repository.
Repository interface.
And how we are going to start those methods? How we are going to start those methods?
Find by,
or
get
read
by, query by.
Find by, or verify, or
Read by.
get by, or
Read by.
read by actually. Okay. Now everyone go to your employee repository interface. Everyone go to your employee repository interface. First go to your MySQL database. Just give select star from EMP 1000. Go to your MySQL database and give select star from EMP 1000. Go to your MySQL database and give select star from EMP 1000. So we have only 4 records there. Okay, try to insert into EMP 1000 values. Insert into EMP 1000 values. EMP 1000 values. So give 105, comma HR, comma 105, comma HR, comma give some email, give some